Hello, everyone. Lynn, thanks for bringing up this topic again. And I see a theme here in some ways in the group. And I'm free flowing here, of course. So, addiction. So, to me, what it boils down to, it's all about healing us, healing me, healing myself. I've had an addiction. Not to opiates or to alcohol, but I definitely was bulimic. I had an eating disorder. I was trapped in a prison with that for 18 years. I wanted it to be different, desperately wanted it to be different, and yet, despite my best efforts at the time, I did not have tapping. I couldn't change it. I desperately wanted to change it. I had a mother who was addicted to alcohol. We did 2.5, I'll call it, 2 well-intentioned, well-thought-out interventions, and 1 just very impromptu, and she always went back. And I remember the last time we did an intervention with her, and she went back on alcohol, I remember thinking, this is how she's going to die. She's going to die this way. And it was hard to come to that. I was in such a codependent relationship, and please know I still can be. I still have addicts in my life. But I was in such a dependent relationship with her, desperately wanting her to be different. Sorry, something just came in my mouth. Desperately wanting her to change. Wanting my mother back. Wanting to be able to have a conversation with her, feel like she was someone that I could trust. And I couldn't trust her. Addicts will sell their souls to get what they want. And the key to me is that the mantra I kept saying to myself about my mother is, why aren't I enough that she'll stop? Why doesn't she love us kids enough to stop? Why can't she see what she's doing to us to stop? And I'm just sharing my own experience. So, and that's something I had to work through. And when I did a lot, I was definitely in Al-Anon. I did my own work through a group, Overeaters Anonymous, when I was struggling with my own eating disorder, and just dealing with the effects of that and all the blame that I had, that I was like, oh my God, I'm just like my mom. I just chose something different. And I could tell myself mine's not mind altering, but it was in its own way. So this topic is a tough one. And I'm going to say this, especially if it's your child. I know when I see my stepdaughter and my daughter just going through things that aren't even that extreme, how much you want to help them and you want to take it from them. You would trade places with them in a heartbeat. I remember like 3 days after my daughter was born and staring at her in the crib and thinking, I would do anything for you. I'd give up my life for you in a heartbeat. I knew it. I know there's literally biology behind that as well, the bonding that we have with our children. And nobody wants to see their children or anyone they love go through that. So I wanted to share that, having been on both sides of it, knowing that I genuinely wanted things to be different, but I had no idea how to stop it until I did. And my mom did die. She drank herself to death. And the wreckage that she left behind for my sisters and I to deal with was really something. And I remember when, at the time, I was like, oh my God, she died the way she lived, hard. But I want to tell a story about one time my aunt, my mom's sister, who I loved, we were pretty codependent, very codependent, and she would call me, because I lived in Chicago at the time and my mom still lived in St. Louis. She would call me and say, your mom's at it again. And I would usually go in and rescue. And I remember after I had done so much work, and I said to her, you can't change someone who doesn't want help. You can't. It's a hard reality, but it's true. You can't. They may even think they want help, because I do remember the last intervention we did with my mom, and she said, "Oh, I think I've been waiting for this for a long time," and we all held out so much hope. It was like, oh my God, okay, finally now, this time it's really going to take, and it didn't. It was amazing how fast she went back to it. So I just wanted to share my own experience of that. Hey, Vesna, happy you're here live. I just wanted to share all my experiences. And even now in my life, I told the story of my husband used to drink and drive, and I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing? And when I finally, I was just like, I just keep hurting myself doing this. When I finally just let go, it's so fascinating to me how he's like, I don't know what the hell I've been doing. When I let go, it's in the surrendering, waving back. It's in the surrendering that it creates space for miracles to happen. And I truly believe this. I've seen it time and time again in my own life. And that is the hardest thing, is to watch someone you love do something that is destroying them. And you just feel powerless and helpless to stop them. You can't. It's the hard, cold reality. You can't. Until they want, and I know this being an addict myself when I was, until the person is like, I'm sick and tired of my own stuff, they're not going to stop. And they have to hit a bottom, and they may have to hit multiples. And, unfortunately, sometimes that bottom is death. And that was the bottom my mother hit. And I remember meeting a gal when I was in my 12-step group for my eating disorder, and I remember talking to her about the behavior she had, and I remember thinking, oh my God, she has a really low bottom. Like, I remember thinking, I don't know if she's going to make it. So I'm not trying to be the Debbie Downer here, but I wanted to bring back to what can we do? What can we do? And it's heal ourselves. We always have to come back to healing ourselves. That is where miracles can happen. And I personally believe when these things repeat themselves in our lives, I'm just going to speak for myself. It's this nudging from my soul to keep coming back to, it's like this call home to myself to go, okay, this thing's happening that's completely, utterly out of my freaking control. And what can I do? I've tried to change them. I've tried to control the situation. I've tried to control myself, and I can't. That to me is the art of surrender comes in. It's turning it over to something greater than yourself. Whatever you believe that is. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to believe whatever you believe. If you can believe in a wiser part of yourself. So that said, let's just get into tapping on healing me. So karate chop. Even though I want them to stop, I desperately want this to be different. I want this situation to change. I feel powerless and hopeless to stop it. And it sucks because I can't stop them. I choose to acknowledge I feel this way. Even though I feel hopeless and powerless, this whole situation sucks. I'm desperate for this to change. I choose to acknowledge my feelings now. Even though I'm at a loss here, we've tried anything and everything we can think of. And still, it's not changing. And my desperation is at a peak. I choose to acknowledge myself right now. I don't know what to do. I'm at such a loss here. I feel so helpless, so powerless. I don't think I understand. Why can't they stop? Why can't they see what they're doing to themselves? Let alone everyone else. I feel so powerless, so hopeless. And the idea of surrendering this to a power greater than myself sounds good in theory, but I don't know how to do it. Because I'm terrified if I don't keep intervening, they're going to die. And I'm dying inside watching them. I feel like part of me is going down the drain with them. And I love them so much. And I'm so afraid. And I don't know what to do. So I'm stuck. What if I can do a few things here? Tap out all my anger, all my rage, all my fear. Get really in touch with me. What is happening inside of me with this? Get as honest with myself as possible. Go to the real, raw emotions. Even if it's hatred for what they're doing. Allow myself to feel fully. Tune in to the real, raw emotions in me. Anger, resentment, terror, fear, hopelessness, helplessness, powerlessness, all of them. And deal with me and everything that's going on within me. Honor myself that way. Do for myself what they can't do for themselves. Start taking care of me more and more. And what if by doing this, it's actually the best possible thing I can do for them? Because as I clean up my energy around this, I do affect them. Energetically, I do. I can't stop them from doing what they're doing. God knows I want to. I I would take their place in a minute to free them from their suffering. But I can't. They have their own path they have to walk, like it or not. But what I can do is attend to me, heal me. What do I think? What do I feel? What is getting triggered in me? This is actually an opportunity to heal me. It may suck, but it is an opportunity to heal myself, to honor me. And the more I do that, the more energetically I'm sending that out to them. I'm actually modeling for them energetically loving and caring for oneself. And the more I love and care for me, the more my energy spreads out well beyond me. And who knows what can come from this? But like it or not, it's always about coming back to me and healing me. And I'm open to the possibility that the guidance I need to do just this can come to me now. And then take a breath. So in my own life and even present day, as I watch people I love have behaviors that I'm like, oh man, I know that's not it. I constantly have to hit the reset button and reboot and go back to what do I think? What do I feel? What's the message in here for me, regardless of what they're doing? I mean, I got that lesson so early in life with my mother at such a young age, to have to, watch someone be so destructive and then take on destruction myself in my own life and then have to really get through that. And we do become addicted to the addicted person. There is literally a thing called peptide addiction that happens in our bodies, in our cells, where we become addicted to that person. We literally become chemically addicted to them just via the thoughts we think and how our cells are changing. So I can't tell you enough. If you can, for 60 days straight, tap, even if it's 5 minutes a day, tap specifically on anyone in, like, your feelings about the energy you feel about someone in your life that you see self-destructing. See what happens. And I say rant it out if you're mad. I mean, I was so freaking pissed at my mom so much. And even when, after she died and we walk into her place and we're like, oh my God, I was so pissed. Had I had tapping, oh my God, I would have saved myself so much time. But you got to let the real raw emotions come out. And if you feel guilt about feeling mad at somebody that's caught in addiction, tap on that too. Like, it all comes back to our own self-acceptance and healing ourselves. It is truly, truly the best thing we can do for the planet, for anyone else. As you keep healing yourself, you are literally vibratorially sending energy out there. And I'll share one more story and this is, it's on topic, but it's less severe than this. So yesterday, I went to pick up my car. I was getting oil changed and the tires rotated and balanced. And then I was running an errand afterwards. And I'm in a left lane and there's a car in the right lane, literally just starts to run right into me. So, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, and I pretty much know where to go. So somehow, freaking some way, I was able to maneuver away from them, and I redlined. I was pissed. I was like, motherfucker, I'm going down, getting all gangster, and like, what the fuck do you think they're doing? And then I'm like, I'm going to show them. I just get so freaking caught up in the moment. And I start to follow them into the parking lot, and I'm going to let them know. And all of a sudden, as I'm doing this, I'm like, oh my God, Marty, you're mad right now. You're crazy. And I caught myself. And I was like, I'm going to send love to this person. And I am going to talk to them. But I'm going to be loving and kind. And I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I pull in. And this old man gets out of the car. And he's 94. And he's been in the same war as my dad was in. And he was such a sweet man. And I'm not going to pass judgment on whether he should be driving or not. He was in his son's car. And I was like, I just went up to him and I said, did you see me? And he goes, I'm so ashamed and embarrassed. I didn't. And he went on to say, I'm 94. It's my son's car. I'm not used to driving it. And he tells me about it. I said, oh, my dad was in the service too. And he gave me a medal for blessings, for safety. And he said, I'm so sorry. And I said, no, I'm sorry. I said, honestly, I redlined. I was a freak. Right after it happened, I got triggered. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I was going to throw it down to the ground. And then I'm like, I grabbed myself by the bootstraps. And I'm like, I actually did want to talk to you, but I want to be kind and loving. And that's the work. It's not about being perfect. It's not about getting it right. I do this for a freaking living, and I get freaking taken out all the time. It's about how quick do we recover. And that's why I want to share the stories about my own mess ups and this and that, because I'm like, it's real. It's part of who we are. It's can you reboot? Can you recover? Can you go back to Marty, what the hell are you doing here? Seriously, you're going to throw it down? I assumed it was an older person, but then when I saw him, I was like, oh yeah. It's just like, oh my God. So anything like that, whenever you find yourself getting caught up, getting triggered, getting reacting, the best thing you can do for yourself is tap. Use statements like, I choose to see love instead of this. I want to see, if you're too triggered for that, don't go there, because that'll just mess you up. But just tap and like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. Get all the angst out. Soothe your nervous system. Start to change your cells. And you're going to end up having a different result over time. So anyway, I know this was a long one, but that's nice. I see that you're here. Somebody else is here who I can't see. Hope you found this helpful. Day 6. Hope you have a great, great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for day 7. Is that you, Lynn? That is you, Lynn. I'm going to wave at you, sister. So I hope, if you haven't seen this, go back and watch this, and then watch that. I think you watched that one I tagged you on. Much, much love and blessings to you right now. My heart so goes out to you. So hope you find this one and the other one I did helpful. Just sending you so much love right now, and love to you, Vesna, and somebody else is here too. So sending love out to all of you so it reverberates out to everyone. So have a great rest of your day, and just again, many, many blessings to you, Lynn, and I'm sure I'll see you in Santa Fe. Bye for now. Take care.